All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Unique Adventurez. This weekend we are out here, Alpine Lakes Lodge. We are doing that fly around campground review. We're going to show you guys every single site at this place and what it has to offer, show you the things that you may want to look at while staying here. On the left hand side here, you've got one of their front legs here, good for kayaking, paddle boats, and also paddle boards. These are things that they have there for you in the campground, on top of some trails back there managed by DNR. You really shouldn't be riding on those trails, but they are back there, so just kind of keep that in mind. As we come through here on the right hand side, this is the fishing lake. Not very deep, very crystal clear water. They do advise that you do not fish in here with barbed hooks, but it is catch and release only, but is definitely a nice big lake. And the first two sites there actually have back access to the lake. So here is the dry camping area here. As you can see, it's all on the outside perimeter of this big open field area here, and we're going to get into this. So 1 and D2 here all go out on the backside there to the lake. You also have D3, nice little spot there with some tree cover there. And I like a lot of these spots here. You can kind of duck back in there, and if it is hot out, at least you'll get that tree cover. Got a little porta potty there, and there's D4. You know, nice spots back nestled in there. You might be able to fit a smaller trailer in there. It looks like that's what's in that slot there. You also have D5 right next to it. Another spot you can get back to. Also, these spots also have creekside access in the back. There's a little creek that runs back there, so definitely you can keep track of that. D6 right here, nice little tent spot. I'm not sure how far back it goes. Most of these sites, some of these sites you might be able to get a trailer in. Some of them might be able to get an RV, depending on if it's a little bit smaller. If you're going with a bigger RV, obviously those two first sites there are a lot better. And then you've also got D7 and D8 coming up here. This is D7 going straight back. You could fit a fairly decent sized rig into this site. And I like that you've got the tree cover back there too, so later in the day, you know, you're going to get a little bit of that shade action if it's fairly warm. So 7's there on the right, and then on the left you'll have D8. So these sites are actually snuggled up together pretty tight. It's not as wide as D7, so D8 does go back there a little bit. Got a little picnic table back there, and so yeah, you can definitely get a trailer in there. And then you've got D9, and this site here looks like this guy's got a truck over with a canopy going on there. You could probably fit decent size back there. Definitely love having that tree cover. It's going to keep you shaded most of the day. So those are the dry camping trailer spots back there. And now right next to it, you've got these nice little cabins. They are set up for 2 to 4 people. I am not sure if it has AC in there. I know it does have electric in there because I can see the boxes there. And there are 6 of these little cabins back here that if you didn't have anything and you wanted to come out and go camp, that you could actually just show up, you know, with a little bit of gear, and you'll get to come back here and enjoy this campground, which is really nice. The sites are, or the cabins, I guess, are fairly close together, so you know that is definitely something to think about. But you've got little fire pits on the back side of these, which is really nice. The one on the end here, looking like that's going to be the first cabin one, obviously you're going to have a little bit of that opening there, so a little bit of traffic. Now as we go back behind the backside of the campground, these are your remote tent sites back here. There are 5 of these that are in this heavily wooded area. There is no trailer access back here. The roads are very tight. I would not advise anybody to bring a trailer. You can bring, maybe a tent in the back of your truck. This is pretty much what these sites are all about. So as we come up here on the right hand side, you're going to see the first site here, and these are kind of little pull-throughs. And I think there's another little parking spot here. I'm going to flip the drone here to the right, and you'll see there's a little parking spot up there. And I think that goes back, the trail will actually go back here a little bit. You might have access to that big lake that's on the back side of the campground here. If you didn't see the other vlog that we did here, you'll definitely want to check that out. I'll pin that right here so that you guys can see that big lake that was back there. And we were here on Labor Day weekend, and as you can see, there's not a lot of people here, so this is definitely a sleeper kind of place here. So this is site number 1. It's going to be a pull through little number here. Like I said, very tight roads, so definitely keep that in mind. You have site number 2 right next to it there, but we're going to come back around here and show you site number 1. So you've got your little picnic table there, heavily wooded, so you're going to be shaded most of the time. Probably help out a lot with, if it was hot out there, definitely will help. This is site number 2, and we're going to go through this. This is another pull through. Like I said, best back here just with a tent or something like that. And then you got that little part of the trail there. I think off the backside of the campground, you can go probably observe the backside of that big lake back there. So nice little spots nestled back here. You're definitely in the woods here. This is not a very refined campground, but I actually kind of like it that way. If you're looking for a hoity-toity, completely paved place, this is not your style. But if you're wanting something a little bit more rustic, this is definitely up your alley. Site number 3 out of 5 back here for these tent sites. So we're just going to come through another pull through. Got yourself a fire pit, a little picnic table, good access. You could probably get a couple cars back here. So if you had like 3 or 4 people, you could get some cars back here, have all you there, pitch a couple tents, and have a nice little area there. So really cool. We definitely love the atmosphere at this campground. And mind you, it's very close to Lake Easton, Lake Kachees, very highly sought after places to go. And you're 2 exits away, and you could have walked in here on Labor Day. So that trail back there, that actually goes back to the big lake back there. So you will have a little bit of foot traffic if you're in one of in site 3 or in this site 4 here, people walking back and forth to the lake. So this site here still looks like another little pull through. Your best probably to back into this site, and you can get, like you said, a couple of cars in here. I would probably pitch a tent on the way back end of that there, but you got a nice little picnic table, very shaded back there, which makes it really cool. And then right there on the right hand side is site number 5. I'm not sure. I don't think this one's a pull through. I think this one's just gonna be a little back end number here. You're probably only gonna get like maybe 1 or 2 cars and a tent in there, and that's pretty much it. But for you doing this type of camping anyway, that's probably all you're gonna need. So coming right through here, we're gonna head into the RV area. This is the hookup section. So you're looking at sites 1 and 2 here. And these have got water and power in all these sites. Some have 50 amp, some have 30 amp. I do not know the designations. You're going to have to look online or ask them to know which sites have which, but I do know that they have a mixture of both. So those will definitely fit 30-foot rigs in there all day long. You also have a laundry area here with a full bathroom shower area here, which is really nice to have kind of around the campground. Here is site number 3, and this was actually the camp host site, so that might be the permanent camp host site, so just kind of keep that in mind. We are actually here in site number 4, and the only issue with these two sites is that you have a private residence on the backside. So if you're enjoying a little fire back there, they may be enjoying a fire like they were doing the one night we were back there. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I actually liked having this little secluded area. I thought spot number 4 was actually really good. So now we're going to count up here on the next row. These are going from 13 down to 5 here. These are all pull-ins, and they're fairly good space. Some people were actually going one way and another way, so that you could have like a little combined area in the middle, and I don't see why you couldn't do that here if you had a couple of sites. So you're counting all the way down from 13 down to 5. I've already lost track of which one's which here, but I will keep the numbers up here so that you guys can see which ones are which. But yeah, and it looks like the last couple here got some shaded area here, more in the mid-morning to afternoon. You're going to get a little bit of shade in there, but it is all dirt and stuff, so definitely keep that in mind. This is not a very reformed campground. So we're starting here. This is site number 22 on the end, and you're going to 20 and 22, 21, 20, 19, 18 there, 17, 16, 15, and the last one there where that big 35-foot fifth wheel is site number 14. And all the sites are pretty well created equal. Not a lot of privacy, but if you had 2 people in a site there, you know, you'd be straight. So that pretty much is going to wrap up the actual site review. You're getting a good view here of the top 2 lakes here. The one on the right is the kayak lake, and the one on the left is the fishing lake as you're coming in here. Great gorgeous views here. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel so you do not miss any more of our campground reviews we do, where, you know, sometimes we do it by ruckus and sometimes we take it to the air and do it by drone. So make sure you don't miss anything else, and until then, we'll see you guys in the next adventure.